Hi everybody. How you doing? It's about a quarter to 7 EDT in New York. I don't know who's on. I don't know who's not on. It's about a quarter to 7 EDT in New York. How you doing? I hope you can hear me because um my USB is busted, so I have to get a new mic. I'm gonna get myself a new Yeti. I'm due for some fancy gear, I guess. But okay, what this is gonna be on the YouTube as well for those of you who are following the stuff I do on YouTube. Um, Topic: spellwork. Okay, so I've had a lot of people asking me about spellwork, claiming I do spellwork, asking me if I put a spell on them. I don't. First of all, I'm not into that. You have that wrong. It's not my belief system. Okay, not my belief system at all. Um, I grew up around a lot of different people. Culturally, there are a lot of different beliefs. There's people who practice la regla de ocha, the way de Risha, Santeria. There were people who practiced Wicca. There were people who practiced a lot of things around me growing up. None of those systems of belief are mine. I respect my ancestors and I respect the traditions of people who are in those different groups. But I myself am not a practitioner. I've never been a practitioner. Um, I read up on many, many, many different things. From when I was very young, I had my own personal search for what I felt was the truth or what speaks to me when it comes to spiritual things. And I've read up on a lot of stuff, and I know a lot of stuff, and I can discuss a lot of stuff in those in that area. But no, I am not a Wiccan. No, I am not a Santera. No, I am not a witch. Um, I do flip tarot. Um, that actually is passed down um, because I had people in my family who were spiritualists, which is more European, um, and they've practiced cartomancy, which is older than tarot, um, which is basically basic playing cards using basic playing cards. That's it, a pack of playing cards, a deck of playing cards. Um, that later became something called Lenormand method or whatever. There are other methods, and the Vera Sevilla through Italy, um, and later it became developed into something else called the tarot. But no, I am not a Rosicrucian. I am not any of those things at all. Okay, um, I am very heavily influenced by Christian, so-called Christian anarchy and Rastafarian beliefs. Okay, which are Afrocentric. It's Afrocentric, semi-anarchist, social anarchist liberation theology. All right, and those symbols that are in those cards are very, very old. Some of them go back to the Kabbalah and Jewish mysticism and all kinds of stuff, all of which is in the actual Bible, the actual Judeo-Christian Bible. Okay, I won't get into it too much, but the question was about spell work. So, and I'm not being catty. I'm define spell work. If to you spell work is lighting candles and dripping wax on people and poking voodoo dolls and taking locks of people's hair and doing strange stuff with it, no, I don't do that. I don't believe in that. I think that's ridiculous, and I think it's an intrusion on people's privacy. If by spell work you mean writing your intentions on a piece of paper, people do that all day. People do that all day long. Creative artists, when they write poems, or executive business executives when they're um, putting out a what do they call it, a visualization list, creative visualization list or whatever, or a list of goals, or a strategic plan, are doing that. So if that's spell work, there's a lot of people doing it, writing intentions on paper and then following it along and focusing on your will to have that done and then doing what needs to be done. Yeah, if then every freaking business owner on the planet is pretty much doing spell work. If you wrote out an org chart or a flow chart or uh, like I said, strategic planning goals, you then I guess you were just doing spell work. Um, if chanting something over and over in deep meditation is spell work. Then the Catholic Church has been doing that with the Rosary since its inception, especially since they're facing east and they have all the fancy symbols, the same exact symbols that are in the tarot, and they came from the same exact place, the Judeo-Christian Bible and the Kabbalah, and other places like Egyptian mysticism and all that. It's all in your weekly mass. So, you know, if having an intention and getting together in a group and focusing on that intention and speaking that intention is spell work, then every time that the Baptists and the Pentecostals and everybody get together and get in a circle and join hands and pray over somebody, lay hands on somebody, then they're doing spell work. So define spell work. Define it. Um, if you're talking about something where I want something from somebody that they are not willing to give me, haven't expressed a willingness to give me, and I start, like, dancing around a bonfire or writing things down or whatever else to try to mess with their head, mess with things going on in their life, right? To impose my will on that person, okay? That's coercion, and people do that all the time. They do it all the time. Our government does it all the time, and it is a wicked thing. I do not believe in messing with free agency. I believe that even the creator, Jah, who I call Jah, the creator, um, does not mess with free agency. Here is my take on it. If God is love, quote unquote, God is love, right? And the force that is the force of creation is beneficent and loving and perfect, right? Then it's not going to force its will on you. It's just going to do itself. It's going to do what it does. It's going to rain. The sun's going to shine, the wind's going to blow, but it's not like directing stuff at you. It's just doing what it's doing. Okay? And if something is loving, an entity is loving and wants me to follow it or obey it or whatever, honor what it tells me to do, because it has nothing but good intentions for me, and all of the directives given to me are directives to make me my highest self and bring me my highest good. And if that's the energy of quote unquote God, this loving beneficent being who tells us only, guides us only to do things to make us better and advance ourselves and all that great stuff, then that is not going to force itself on me, because something that loves you doesn't force itself. Okay? So for example, a guy who's interested in you, who loves you, is not going to force himself on you. He wants you to choose him. He wants you to choose to be with him. He wants you to choose to give to him. He wants you to choose to honor him. He wants you to choose it. If it's forced, then it isn't by choice. It isn't real. It's something you're doing because you're fearful or you need something. It's not something that you're doing freely out of your heart. So then that isn't a loving situation, right? So I don't believe in love spells, because if you love somebody, you're not going to put a spell on them. If you love somebody, you're not going to force yourself on them. If you love somebody, you're not going to cause harm to them unless and until they turn to you and feel for you the way that you want them to feel. If you love somebody, you're not going to cause blockages in their creativity. You're not going to cause blockages in their finances. You're not going to put anything on them to oppress them in any way, because you love them. Because love, the nature of love is not to do that. Okay? People aren't your possessions. They're not your little chess pieces. So if you love somebody, you're not, this is my belief, I'm using you in general. If you love somebody, you're not going to do that. Right? So I don't believe in doing that. I believe that people have free agency. I am not so desperate and fucked up and forlorn that I need to go around like putting weird spells on people to make them do what they don't want to do or feel what they don't want to feel. There are plenty of people who are happy to talk to me. There are plenty of people who are happy to spend time with me. There are plenty of people who have feelings, whatever. And I don't need to do that. I really don't. It's not, and I have so much on my plate. I have a household to run, kids to raise. I have my own situation to deal with. The ink only just dried 2 seconds ago on the divorce decree. I'm not in a rush. I don't have to do that. There's so many millions of people on the planet um, who I could probably click and connect with. And I also believe that the divine has like a pool of people that are best for me, that the divine will place into my life at the right time, for me to learn the lessons I need to learn to be a better person and advance spiritually and ascend and evolve and glow up, whatever they want to call it. And whoever it is meant for me. If I'm meant to be with them, I'm gonna be with them. It's divinely written. I don't have to go through all of this struggle and all of this ridiculous stuff, going around messing with people's um, thought process or emotions or whatever. I don't have to do that. I don't. Um, so no, I haven't put any spells on anyone lately, love spells or otherwise. I don't have to do that. I have better things to do, and frankly, I don't really believe they always work. I believe a lot of the time, um, people will do something like that and put their energy into that, and then something will happen with the other person, and we'll think that it has something to do with whatever weird incantation we said or weird thing we did, and really it might have happened even if we hadn't gone there and did all of that stuff, and we're just kind of transposing what we want to be true onto the situation. You know what I mean? So no, I don't do that. um I have put up on my page things called return to sender, meaning if somebody's sending anything wicked towards me, to block it and bind it and send it back. That's asking for protection. That's asking for protection. And I don't even like to do that, because I feel that addressing it and sending it back is sending harm. And I don't even want to send harm to people looking to harm me. So if you hear what I say, I'll say, if sending it back to its source is going to bring harm, then please, Lord, break it up into a million pieces, blow it back out into the ethos, back into the universe, and don't allow those energies or those elements or those things to be put together again to ever harm anybody, me or anyone else. So no, um, asking for protection if someone's bringing stuff towards you, that might be a spell, but it's not the type of spell work people are talking about where you're imposing your will on somebody else. Okay? Um, imposing your plan for that person or your desires for that person on someone else for your own edification or emotional whatever. No, I don't do that. Um, I've also prayed a lot for protection, for guidance, for I when I ask that the veil be removed or lifted, that's asking for truth to be revealed. Okay, things that are being hidden to be revealed, and I ask that for the greatest good of other people. Okay, so if that's spell work, then I'm guilty as charged. Asking the Lord for protection, asking the Lord to have the truth revealed and that justice prevail. People do that several times on Sunday, and it's not spell work. It's not bringing harm to people. Now, if you're being deceptive, and I pray to Jah to remove the veil, and the truth is revealed, and you get caught out there doing something dishonest, then you got caught out there doing something dishonest. It wasn't Diane sitting there going, let me put something on this dude so people can see he's a jerk. No, it's me asking my Lord, Jah, please, if there's anything hidden here that's harmful to others, may justice prevail, may the veil be lifted so we can see what's going on. That is not putting anything on you. If I say return any evil intentions to sender, if you try to send the pox upon my household and I say, Lord, send that shit back, and you break out in spots, that's not me harming you. That's the energy that you put out there being returned to you. And so the law of return, everything is cyclical, right? So Sir Isaac Newton, physics, every action has an equal and opposite reaction, right? What you put into the universe returns to you. It's the law of return. It's also the law of attraction. If you're putting out negativity, you receive negativity. That's not Diane putting a spell on you. That's you did some shit, and it's coming back to you because Spirit wants you to handle your business a little differently, where you don't harm so many people or cause so many problems, not just for others but for yourself. Trying to encourage you to make better choices. Okay, that's lessons given to all of us. I've been that person. I've been that toxic person in the past. I'm not that person today. Okay, but no, I don't engage in love spells. You know, I had a situation a long time ago. I want to say years ago. I want to say 15 years ago. Okay, whatever, maybe even more, maybe 20, before I was married, so ages ago. More than 25 years ago. Okay, where I was very drawn to somebody. Like, I met somebody who was very, very different from me, and that wasn't really somebody I would consider my type. Like, I would never, and I forget what happened, but this person wasn't my type. It wasn't a person I would normally be interested in, or turn my head or be like, what's going on with that dude? Definitely not my type. Definitely not. Like, not my type. Not somebody I might normally, um, talk to that way. But I met them. I forget what I was doing, some kind of volunteer, something, whatever, and happened to be, working together on this team for it, and we're talking, and I start to realize this person is actually pretty cool. You know what I mean? And keep talking, keep working together. Wow, this person is really cool, and I start thinking about them a lot, and I start developing feelings for that person. And it's so weird to me because I'm like, I wasn't looking, and this wasn't someone who was my type. Don't you know that that's usually how it happens when you're doing you and you're not looking, and you're just chilling being you, and your energy is just, your vibration is just out there, right? You attract people on the same vibe. You attract people on the same vibe, on the same vibration, on the same emotional whatever. And they may not necessarily look the part you were expecting. They may not necessarily be wrapped in the package you were expecting, but you're finding that you're clicking. Why? Because you're clicking energetically with that person. You're clicking emotionally with that person. You're identifying with that person. And you're like, this person is pretty chill. And so sometimes feelings develop. And sometimes strong feelings develop. But even then, that's not spell work. That person is not sending you no kind of mojo. It just happens like that sometimes. Or maybe for people who believe in past lives or reincarnation, maybe you have a past life connection with that person. Maybe something happened between you and that person in a past life, or whatever it is, and you're supposed to get together with them somehow to work that lesson out, or to work that so-called karmic debt out, or to work learn the lesson, the spiritual or whatever lesson that you're supposed to learn this time around. And so that's why you have that pull towards them, or they have that pull to you. Maybe, like I said, soulmate energy is not always necessarily romantic. It's not necessarily sexual. Not everything is sexual. Get your head out of the gutter, y'all. Sometimes that person is meant to teach you another lesson. Maybe that was your mother or your father in a past life, and you're feeling that connection, you're feeling that nurturing energy, you're feeling that warm fuzzy feeling. Maybe that person was your spouse in a past life, and part of your soul is remembering and recognizing them. Maybe that person was your child in a past life, and your soul is connecting, and you feel protective of them, and you feel nurturing in them. Maybe that person was a sibling in the past life. Maybe that person is someone who passed, okay, in your lifetime, and they're back, and you're like, whoa, you know what I mean? You It doesn't necessarily mean there's this crazy sexual whatever going on. That happens. Energies click. Energy sometimes clicks strongly. Spirit guides you to certain people at certain parts of your life, or certain points in your life, to help you through it. Maybe Jaja, in his infinite wisdom and mercy, he sees that the path you're on, even though it may very well be your divinely written path, and there's no necessity to veer from your path, or there's no necessity to veer from the person or the spouse that you're with. Maybe Jaja sees there's going to be problems in this union, or there's going to be problems on the job, or there's going to be problems, where you're going to have to look at maybe even inner child work or shadow work, and or there's going to be I don't know, there's going to be a freaking hurricane and you're going to lose everything. And Jaja is concerned that when this happens, you're going to need support. You're going to need a certain kind of support to help you through it. so you don't revert back to old patterns. And so maybe you need somebody like in your soul tribe. God needs to say, okay, this person doesn't realize that you're in their soul tribe, but you're part of this person's soul tribe. Get your butt over there so that when the shit hits the fan, I got you, I got you, I got you, I got you. Maybe that person's gonna need that, and Jaja sees it coming, you know. And so strings are pulled, energetically or otherwise, to cause these people to be in your life at this point in time to help you through it. You know, there's been times that I have been in a situation or relationship where people are like, that's toxic. What is she doing with that person? But that person got me through some of the worst, hardest times of my life. And there was a lesson learned. And I'm grateful. Now that I look back at it, I said, well, that was the lesson I was supposed to learn. And that was the blessing I was supposed to get. And here's how that person helped me. And here's how I helped them. And it didn't work. And it was fucking crazy. And we had to part ways. But for that time and in that space, that was the help we needed from one another. And I'm glad I had that experience, because it's made me a more compassionate person, a wiser person, you know, in certain respects. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I've had that happen. I've had it happen where someone comes into my life for a season, and the pull is real strong and I don't understand it. And it's not necessarily a sexual pull or whatever, but the pull is real strong and I don't get why. And I've learned to just say, okay, whatever it is, I don't know what the reason is yet. I'm just gonna sit here and chill, see what happens, and observe. And there's been times that's happened to me, and then something goes down in my life, not always even necessarily a bad thing, and I realized that person was there to walk me through it, to walk me through it. You know what I mean? Sometimes, you know, to help me make a better choice, to help me avoid something, to help me when there's adversity, you know, stand strong in it. To let me know that I can put my guard down and experience joy again. You know what I mean? So I can't really answer like if there's people on here having strong feelings, or like, you know, what's this thing going on with Diane? She comes in like a freaking hurricane and shit happens. She must be, no. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just doing what I'm being guided to do. I'm just doing what I'm being guided to do. If there's a little thing going, help this person. If there's a little thing going on right now, Dan, walk this other direction of the street, cross the street, sis. It's not safe. If I'm feeling that, I'm just following my guts. I had an experience uh, a little under a year ago, right? Back in, I want to say, February, where, I don't know, the floodgates opened up, and I'm just doing what my intuition is guiding me to do. And some of the things that I'm doing don't even make sense to me. Some of the directions I'm going in don't make sense to me, to be very honest with you. But I'm on the right path, because as I make those decisions, and as I walk those steps, and as I do those things, and as I walk over and say hi to those people, or I take on this project, or I refuse to drop this project, or I whatever, blessings are coming. Blessings are coming to me. Stuff is being handled. Stuff is being taken care of. There are also challenges that are coming. Those challenges are being handled, and I'm stepping back in awe, going. So I promise people that I'm just as shocked as they are by my behavior lately. I'm just as shocked as you are about the fact that I'm like talking about the divine and talking about ascension and talking, because I'm watching things happen in my life. I'm watching things happen, and they're good things. They're things that are advancing me. Life-changing stuff. I'm sitting back and I'm watching it, and I'm like, I had somebody tell me play by play, this is what you're going to be able to expect. And I'm watching it happen. I'm like, how could they know that? Total random discussion. How could you know that? How could you know that about me? How could you know that this is how it's going to roll? How could you know that this is what I'm going to be doing? How do you know that this is going to be where I'm going to stand? How do you know that these people are going to pass out of my life and these other people are going to be brought into my life, and that these are the good things that are going to, how could you know that? But I'm looking at, I took notes, and every single thing that person told me has happened, and things that they told me would happen, I see my life going in that direction, in the timeline going there, and it's blowing me away. And I don't know how to explain it. Is it spell work? Is it the devil? Is it God? Is it an angel? I don't know what the fuck it is, but what I do know is that it's making me a better person. It's advancing me and putting me in a position to help more people. It's helping my family. It's bringing healing. It's bringing nothing but healing. Absolutely nothing but healing into my life. And so my answer to it is, okay, surrender, I surrender, I surrender, I surrender, I surrender. Let it be done upon your maidservant as you've spoken. That's it. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say. I don't know if that resonates with people, if people have been through a situation like that before. I'm guessing some people have. But no, Diane doesn't engage in spell work. Whatever you're going through, whatever feelings you're going through, whatever challenges you're going through, whatever you're going through, I did not put no kind of spell work on nobody. I didn't put no mojo on anybody. It's against my belief to ever do that. I probably wouldn't even know how to do it, and to be very honest with you, I don't think I have the power. See, I use my words, I use my actions. Okay? So like if I see a person on the street hungry and I got a peanut butter sandwich, I don't do spell work. I give them some food. Now I just made that person's day better. Now maybe somebody else saw me doing that and said that was pretty cool, and they go do the same thing. Now two people are fed. Now maybe those two people fed remember the kindness that was done, and when their life gets better, they pay it forward. That's the only spell work I know, paying it forward and trying to do the next right thing and be generous towards people. That's the only spell work I know. And praying and meditating. When I meditate, what do I meditate on? Myself, my damn self. To be more open to the divine, to be more open to whatever is good, to be more open to whatever positive energy is standing right here in my life, to be more open to healing myself, to be more open to being honest with myself, and look at myself and see where I could be improve myself and be a better person. Okay? To open myself to new opportunities, to open myself to new experiences, to open myself to not be afraid, to open myself up to possibilities, to not say I can't, it's impossible, but say, wait, maybe there's a way, maybe there's a door, maybe there's a way we can do this. And see if there is a way, and if there is a way, to not be afraid to get up and just go do it. And if there isn't a way, to accept it. I've been learning a lot about acceptance lately. A lot. It's so weird because I've been learning how to change the things that I truly can, and transmute things, and but I've also been learned to be accepting. I haven't learned to be patient. Patience is not my forte, but I've learned to be accepting. So when I say that I've learned to be accepting, I can't stress this enough. Look, I've really truly accepted that if something or someone is in my life that isn't serving me, walk away from it. Let it go. If I have feelings for somebody and they don't have the same feelings back, let them go. Goodbye. It's okay. If someone doesn't like me, let it go. If someone hates me, awesome. If someone wants to talk shit, I get a little annoyed by that. Because you know what? Talking shit and gossip is spell work on me. It's trying to make other people develop a perception of me or treat me some kind of way and cause negative impact to me. And I don't like that. Especially if I haven't really done wrong. I don't like that. That kind of bugs me. And because I'm concerned about how it will affect the people I love who are innocent bystanders in it, that kind of upsets me. But in and of itself, people talking shit, they're gonna. What am I supposed to do? I can't control what I'm supposed to do. Take something and sew their mouth shut? what people think. I don't have any control over people's thoughts. So I feel that, you know, I joke about it all the time, but sticking things in voodoo dolls and, you know, whatever weird sex magic people are into or whatever crazy stuff, I don't engage in that. I think it's a waste of time. If somebody has a will to do something or they have a will to not do something, you may be able to create some kind of chaos around that person. You may be able to mess with that person. You may be able to slow it down, maybe. But you're not able to stop that person's will, because what that person really wants is what they want. And what they want to do is what they're going to do. And what they're going to believe is what they're going to believe. You know what I mean? And who they're going to love is who they're going to love. There's nothing you can do about that. All you're doing is bringing bad vibes, bad karma upon yourself, because you're blocking that person from being who they're meant to be with. You're blocking that person from meeting the divine purpose that they're here for. You're blocking that person from learning the lessons they need to learn in this life to be the person that Jah, the divine, meant for them to be. You know, you're keeping someone who desperately needs their soulmate and their partner by their side from having that person by their side, and you're causing hardship on them and on other. So you don't mess with it. You don't mess with free agency. You just don't mess with free agency. You just don't do it. You can use your words and your behavior as an example, or try to encourage people to think about how they're rolling, to think about how they're living, and to maybe change their mind. But at the end of the day, the free will is theirs. They do what they want to do. So little old me, I'm very amazed at how powerful people think I am. Y'all think that I have the power to dance around in a circle and chant some incantations and make a dude love me who don't love me? You think I have the power to dance around in a circle and hop around on one foot and speak some stuff and make somebody stop loving who they love? I have that power. Me, Diane. The single mom with the kids over here trying to make ends meet. I have that power. And I have that desire to do that to people. Like, I have nothing better to do with the talent and the education and the resources God gave me to do all of that. You have a real weird opinion. And it seems to me that you're giving me power over you that I don't have. I don't have that kind of power. I'm a human being. Okay? I don't have that kind of power. I don't want that kind of power. I don't want to be responsible for that. Somebody told me, Dan, you should finish law school and go be a lawyer. There's a lot of people who don't want me to be a lawyer because they don't understand my spiritual beliefs, and they think it'll somehow interfere with my ability to be very competent in law. Okay? I think that's religious discrimination. I think that you don't decide that someone is not competent to be a lawyer, or not competent to be a truck driver, or not competent to wash dishes in the sink based on your non-acceptance or lack of understanding of their spiritual or religious beliefs. And I think that shit is illegal in the United States. To blackball or ban people or refuse to give people a job or a task because you don't agree with their religious beliefs, or you don't think they make sense to you. Can you imagine? You know how many kooky beliefs there are out there? Nobody would have a job. That's called discrimination. Okay? There's a name for it. It's illegal. It's not cool. You're keeping people from having bread on their table because you think that they're not able to separate. How do you know that they're not able to separate their beliefs? How have they been able to do stuff this whole time? They've been able to do stuff and hold a job and pay bills and do what they got to do all those other times. Right? It's only sane when it's your belief. It's only sane when you're telling some people that a wafer is somebody's body and blood. Then it's sane. Then it's okay. I don't know. I think that's really weird. I think it's really weird. But in any case, people tell me you should go right ahead, finish what you started, go finish law school, and go be a lawyer. You know what I say? I don't want to be a lawyer. I say, why not? No, I'm very happy being a paralegal. very happy just being a paralegal, typing the papers and knowing the process and letting people know the process. You know, we're only allowed to give really procedural stuff or advise people to contact an attorney or whatever. We're not really allowed to do much more than that, and I'm happy with that. You know why? I would feel terrible. I would feel responsible if I had to go in and argue for somebody on death row and I lost the case. I wouldn't be able to handle it. I have too much compassion. I wouldn't be able to handle it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that on my head. I don't want that. I don't want that responsibility. I don't want, you know, a judge is basically a lawyer, right? Who, through popularity contest or whatever it is, or through, you know, having a good, really good application of the laws of this system, is now up there with a robe and a gavel and mediates disputes. Okay? I would not want to be a judge. I would not want to have that responsibility of deciding whether someone goes in a cage or lives among us, or deciding who lives or dies, or deciding who gets what. I don't want that on my conscience. I don't want it. I don't want that responsibility. I don't believe that's the highest authority. I believe there's an authority that's higher. Jah, there's higher authority. Higher. I believe that government is a construct, and that things constructed by people cannot possibly be perfect. There's always going to be somebody hurt or somebody warped or some, and there's always going to be corruption. And so I defer to the divine. I defer to the divine. I defer to Jah, who knows all the facts and circumstances and whose justice is restorative and perfect. So I really, I want to help people through the system because it's the system we live in, and it can be a difficult system to navigate. So I want to be a help to people. You know, if you're having trouble with your social security benefits, or, you know, you're about to lose your home, or you're struggling, you have an elderly parent who can't cut through the red tape of the healthcare system and they have dementia and you need help, I'm happy to have enough knowledge of the system to help you navigate. You know what I mean? But I don't want to be your formal legal advocate, like, and I don't want that on my conscience. It would kill me. It would kill me. It would kill me. It really would. I don't. I don't. I'm one of those people. I sit in a court and I watch a criminal case, and I feel bad both for the family of the victim and the family for the accused, for the perpetrator. I feel bad for both families. Both families are suffering. This is a terrible situation. I'm not able to have that much, you know. So I'll gladly type the papers and stuff, but I don't want that on my conscience. So maybe when they said that my religious beliefs or my spiritual beliefs wouldn't make me a good attorney, maybe they were right. If that means that I have to lose my compassion for both sides. See, I was taught I should be able to argue both sides and see both sides, and that is what makes me a good advocate. Seeing both sides, or all sides, because sometimes there's more than two sides. But I don't know, maybe, you know, maybe who taught me that was wrong. Maybe what makes justice justice is that it's tempered with mercy, with compassion. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Maybe I'd be brilliant at it because I have compassion, because I'm able to see all the different angles. Or maybe I would be hard about it because I care and I don't sit there and calling a total lack of compassion for other people having professional thick skin. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, the reason why I brought up the stuff people were telling me about going to law school is, you know, I don't want that. I don't want that burden on my conscience. So why would I want it on my conscience to do a little dance, you know, and impose my will on someone else? Impose feelings on someone else that they just don't have or wouldn't have otherwise. I don't have that power. I really don't. And I don't want that power. I am busy trying to get my own life together. I am busy trying to figure out what my divine purpose is. I am busy trying to clean my own house. I am busy trying to figure out what my career path is after being stuck in a bad situation and being a displaced homemaker for more than 15 years. Okay? I am trying to maintain and do me. And if I can help people along the way, that is something I simply like to do. I like to help people. You want to psychoanalyze liking to help people? What's wrong with liking to help people? What's wrong in finding joy at seeing others experience joy? Since when is being a fucking asshole who doesn't give a shit about people sane and caring about other people insane? Why does that need to be psychoanalyzed? I helped you because I like to help people. I helped you because I simply could. I was walking past you. You were laid out hungry. I had an extra sandwich. I simply had it. And I chose to give it to you. What if there's no ulterior motive? What if there's nothing sinister here? What if altruism really exists? What if after years and years of you struggling, or years and years of you being hurt, years and years of you being taken advantage of and ripped off and shanked for everything you got, maybe the universe decided to introduce you to this lady right here so that you know what altruism is. Maybe you deserve to know what it is. Maybe you've suffered enough. I don't know. Am I here to be a savior? No. What's wrong with me just wanting to be nice to folks? Just wanting to be generous. Now, that doesn't mean that I should be taken advantage of. That doesn't mean people can just rip me off. I'm going to put my foot down if that's what I see folks doing to me or my family or people I love. Okay? But what the hell is wrong with just being kind, man? Just sharing. We run around talking about how people should share the wealth. And then when somebody just does, we're all fucked up over it and we want to accuse them of spell work, we want to accuse them of all kinds of crazy shit. But isn't this what you have been marching around saying you want? Isn't this what you have been politically organizing saying you want? That you want the people to share with the have-nots? That you want people to share the resources? Okay, so now you got somebody doing it. And now you're all bent out of shape looking for the angle. All bent out of shape, refusing to accept the blessing. All bent out of shape, looking where the water that was given to you when you were thirsty, looking to see what poison is in it. And maybe there's nothing in it. Maybe there's nothing to it. I'm sorry y'all have suffered that much. But Diane isn't ripping nobody off. Diane is not a Jezebel sleeping around. You're fucking crazy. Really. There's nothing sinister here. There really isn't. My life is not that exciting. And I don't have that kind of power over people, nor do I want it. Because again, there's the law of return. Whatever I put out is going to come back to me. I'm not looking to fuck your situation up. I'm not looking to, you know what I mean? I pick up on energy. I don't know why. It's not something I asked for. And there was a time when I blocked it out completely because it creeped me out. But now I'm not blocking it no more. And I'm being honest about the fact that it's there, and I'm asking for help on how to balance it. But it genuinely hurts my heart to see somebody suffer in front of me. It just does. It hurts my heart to see that dude hungry on the street when I know it hurts me. Is that a complex? Is compassion a complex? Fine then. I have a complex. I don't know what else to say. Why are you so bent out of shape over it? Scared to be loved? And by love, I don't just mean sexual or platonic love or just agape love, altruism. Why are you so scared of that? Will it challenge you? Will it challenge you to look at yourself? Is it a huge leap of faith? I don't know. But there's been a lot of talk about spell work. I'm not engaging in spell work. I don't believe in it. I think it's a waste of time. And I don't think that in the long run it really works because we still have free agency. And if even God, the creator of the cosmos, cannot mess with your free will, what am I? Do you, if you give people that power over you, right? Then they're going to have power over you, and in that case, you're still ceding your will. You're still ceding your power. I don't know if anybody's getting what I'm saying, but don't fear it so much if it is being done to you, because again, there's the law of return. It goes back to the person who did it. And I don't know about other people, but I serve a mighty and a powerful Lord. I serve a powerful and a mighty Jah. A mighty Jah. And I'm divinely protected. So you can chant whatever you want, and it may block things for a little while, trip stuff up for a little while, but it's going to fall right back away from me and mine, because I'm protected by the dude whose joint this is. My daddy owns this place, yo. You'll hear what I'm saying. My father owns this place, made this place. Every molecule, every atom. How do you top that? How do you top that? How do you top the protection of the King of the universe? You can't. Call me as crazy as you want. I'm not saying anything different than things that are in books that are ages old. If you don't believe that the people's crazy stuff can touch you, you're not ceding your power to it. It can't touch you, man. If it does, it's for a little while, for you to learn a lesson, or for your skill building. You know what I'm trying to say? Make you stronger. Like the little cold that you get, and you suffer for a little bit, and it boosts your immune system, and then it's over. And then the next time that same little germ hit you, you're strong for it. It can't harm you, because you already been there and done that. It's the same with other things. I know it's not a belief. I know I'm protected, man. I shouldn't be here. The stuff that I've been through, the situation I've been through. People are looking and going, "How the hell did she survive all of that? How is she standing?" Because they know. And some people know the crazy shit that they put on this family and that they sent here and that they're doing. They know the corrupt crap that they're piling on me, and they're trying to figure out why I haven't snapped, done something stupid, ended up in prison, whatever it is. And they're like, "Whoa, we keep hitting her with stuff, and you know what I mean? She's still here." There's only one possible answer. Is there something higher has me? People keep bringing it. I keep standing. And those I love too. And any blessing that comes, and multiply it like the loaves and the fishes, and I pass it out to my boys. I pass it out to my sisters. I pass it out to my brothers. And we all do fine. I don't know what to say, but there's no spell work up in here. There's none. I don't have to do that. People are looking for what scam I'm running. How is she standing? How is she maintaining? How is her stuff? She gotta have money somewhere. No. I'm telling you the truth. I've helped a lot of people. I've done wonderful things, and the blessings are coming back. There's no other answer. There's no angle. There's no scam, and there's no spell work. There is no other answer. I can't tell you nothing but the truth. There's no other answer. There's no other answer. That's just it. There's blessings being returned. The love I put out is being returned at the time that I need it. It's just my turn. When I'm done, I'm going to pay it all forward, because that's just how I'm built. I don't know what else to tell you, but there's no spell work. I stand in good company, because they said when Yeshua healed the blind and the deaf and the leper, that he was doing it by the power of Beelzebub. And he said, how anybody who denies the Holy Spirit, that's not a forgivable offense. No, I'm not doing it by no kind of spell work. I'm not doing it by Beelzebub. It's the divine channel through me, he said, Look it up, it's in there. They accused him of the same thing. So I stand in good company, I guess. I don't know what else to say. He said faith, small as a mustard seed, can move a mountain, can make major changes. The power of the will and the belief that you can is that strong. I'm telling you that those little lessons, they're the truth. I'm watching them happen. I'm really not ripping people off. I'm not sleeping around. I'm not hoeing around. I'm not tricking. And I'm not putting fucking weird ass spells on people and institutions. I'm just not. And I'm sorry if that doesn't add up for you. Like if your life has been so dark and void of anything other than transactional stuff, that you can't believe that. I can't change that if you don't believe me. I can only tell you the truth. You either hear it or you don't. And y'all can keep digging, and you can keep gossiping, and it's gonna keep being revealed to you that what's being put out isn't true or whatever. I don't know what to say to you. But no, there's no spell work here. I think that's such a waste of time. And I think it just brings bad energy back to you, because you're interfering with what a person was meant to do. Things that are divinely written, you shouldn't mess with. And what God has put together, you shouldn't put asunder. So even if, for example, it was divinely written that I was supposed to be with somebody, and it took a while for us to connect on this lifetime, right? And during that time, that person was lonely, or life shit happened, and they ended up meeting someone else who's a soulmate to them, and they connect, they get married, they have a family, right? Even though it was not divinely written, really, I was a person that was the person who was divinely written for that person. You know what I have to do? I have to accept that that's the situation. That this person, while waiting for me, they entered into an agreement, a contract, an understanding with another person who they care for, who means the world to them. And there are kids involved, or there's money involved, or there's other people involved. I gotta accept that. I might have been the person that was divinely written to be their partner. They couldn't wait. Okay. I have to accept that contract, that soul contract. I should not mess with it. See it in the next lifetime. I've said this. See it in the flip side. No, I'm not going to sit there flipping out over it and doing spell work and trying to break that shit up. That would bring harm to innocent people, and it would be bad vibe, bad mojo, bad karma, whatever you want to call it, to me, for messing with that. Especially if there's kids involved and stuff like that. Especially if there's innocent people who be hurt. So no, I'm not gonna do no spell work. That maybe that person will feel the pull of the divine. Oh wow, this was a person. I feel that. You do what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? There's karmic pulls, there's soul pulls. What am I supposed to do about that? You know, it it it, it it's ridiculous. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in messing with nobody's free agency. I don't want anybody to be by my side who truly doesn't want to be there. I don't want no man by my side who truly does not want to be near me. I don't want nobody loving me who don't genuinely want to love me. I've been there and done that. I don't want to do that. I don't want anybody in my circle of close friends who genuinely doesn't want to be in that circle. I don't. And if I had to go through all of that and do all of that spell work, then that person's not there on consent. I manipulated that. I don't want it. I don't want it if that's how it is. I don't want it. I'd rather spend my life alone than have anybody as my partner who doesn't genuinely want to be with me, who doesn't genuinely love me from the heart, who's there because somebody lit a candle, did a dance, lit some incense, sang a song, spit on something, whatever. No, I don't want it that way. I don't want it that way. I don't want it that way. If it isn't real, I don't want it. If it isn't real, I don't want it. That's how I feel right now. That's the energy I'm in. No, I don't want anybody that don't want to be with me. I don't want anybody that ain't mine. I don't. Mine means what's in here. Or whatever the spiritual stuff is going. I don't want it. I don't. I have no desire to interfere with anybody's happiness. I have no desire to interfere with anybody's free agency. None. None. I don't feel good about having anybody in my life who was manipulated into being there or feels that they're forced to stay because of money or because of kids or because of what social pressure or social construct is there forcing them to stay with me. No, if there's anything holding you down here and you are not freely here, I don't want it. I don't believe it's love if it ain't free. I don't believe it's possible for love to not be free. Anything that isn't free isn't really love. Free agency and free love, and that's it. That means you have to consent to be with me. I'm not going to interfere. I'm not going to influence. It ain't consent if I'm messing with it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to chase. I'm not going to beg. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to put people on a guilt trip. I'm not going to mess with the person they chose. I'm not. If you are not, and I'm saying this because I'm hetero, fully hetero, if the dude standing next to me as my partner by my side is not 100% fully convinced with every ounce of his being that he is meant to be standing next to me, this is where he wants to be, this is who he wants to be with, then I don't want it. He can go. And I'm not saying that out of any malice. Go. Be free. Do what you need to do. I don't want it like that. I don't need it any other way. I'm fine. I'm fine staying solo for the rest of my life. But I don't want it any other way. Okay? I don't need to do all that. I've learned a lot of life lessons in a quick time, and I'm past the point where I'm not desperate. Way past it. Way past it. You have that peg wrong. And maybe that's the energy people feel. This ain't no desperation. This ain't no, I know exactly who the hell I am and what the hell I want. And I'm okay. I'm okay in my own skin. I'm okay sitting watching Netflix by myself. There's no codependency here. There's no neediness when it comes to that here. You know? There just isn't. Do I get lonely? Yeah, I get lonely, but I don't need any of that. I'll go snuggle and give my dog a hug and, find something to do, get my mind off of it. It'll pass. But I would rather that than ever again, be tied down a yoke to somebody I'm not evenly yoked with, who I wasn't meant to be with. I know what that felt like. It sucked. I finally got a divorce paper written, and I never want to go back to that space again. Ever again. I know what it is to say to somebody, this isn't working. We need to end this. It's crazy. It's toxic. We're hurting each other. We have to stop this relationship. And to have that person force me to stay. I know what that feels like. Force me to stay. Either by fucking with the money or my feelings or my reputation. Isolating me, keeping me from leaving my own damn house. Messing with my children. I know exactly what it feels like to be forced to stay in a situation I ain't happy in and that clearly isn't working. And to be stuck. And to feel like a slave and a prisoner in my own home and in my own skin. I know exactly how that feels. So I would never, ever, ever mess with anybody's free agency. If the dude is not 100% sure with every freaking tiny little atom in his body, in his brain, in his soul, that he wants to be with me in this moment, I don't want it. Get clear on that. Because we have people who are talking a lot of crap. There's no spell work. There's me standing in my own power and in my own energy. And sometimes that attracts like. But that does not mean I'm going to interfere with any shit. Because like I said, our soul connection is not always about that. A lot of times we feel it and that's the only way we're used to channeling it. But no. It doesn't have to be all about that. Look to what's higher. Some things are more important than all of that. Okay? Truly. I don't have to do that. I don't. I don't. I don't have to do all of that. You're not dealing with one of those. I've ascended, not dealing with none of those. You're not. So, anyway, I don't mess with that. I ask for protection. I ask for negative things that might be sent in the direction of me and the people I love most, my children, my family, to please be blocked. I ask for the truth to be revealed and for justice to prevail in any unjust situation. I ask that people find their way to whatever their divine purpose is and that any hurts be healed. And if that is spell work, then I stand guilty as accused. But if we're talking about imposing my will on other people, I don't really believe that that's 100% possible. And I have no desire to do that to anybody. Because I know what it feels like when people did that shit to me. And in the most personal and deep way. And for years and years and years. And I'm grateful. I feel like I'm a slave who's been freed. If that's the closest, I don't know what else to say. And people who know my history and know my story and know how badly I've been coerced into things or manipulated into things will understand how deeply hurtful it is to have somebody say that I would ever do that to anybody else. Diane don't do no kind of spell work. She don't believe in it. She will not do it. I don't want it no other way. It has to be 100% consensual and free agency, or I don't want it. I don't believe that it's possible for love to not be free. If someone is there staying with somebody, staying in a situation they're not happy with, for money, for kids, then it ain't free and it ain't love. It's a trap. And there's nothing wrong with keeping your commitments and keeping your promises at all. I understand that. Especially where kids and stuff are involved. There's absolutely nothing wrong with keeping your commitment. But then that's what it is. It's keeping a commitment. It ain't love. And there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you do. I made a promise to this person. I realize that I don't love this person, or I no longer love this person, but I'm gonna man up, I'm gonna woman up, and I'm gonna keep my responsibility. I made an agreement. If I skip, it's gonna cause a lot of harm. It's gonna cause a lot of damage, and I'm going to keep my commitment. I'm gonna keep my responsibility under the law. I'm gonna keep my responsibility to this person. I'm spiritually. I'm not gonna step out. It's a very hard thing to do, and respect for that, for keeping your agreement. But let's not call it let's not call it love. Let's call it what it is. Keeping your agreement. And it's, again, respect to you for doing that. If you're a man or a woman or whatever, you don't have to be binary in that situation. You're keeping your promise. Oh, believe me, I'm a person who's about that. I've been accused of not being a person who's about that, and that isn't true. But I get it. That's honorable. Why would I interfere with that? By all means, you made a promise. But spell work? No, there's no spell work. There is none. I'm living my life. I have a lot on my plate. I'm rebuilding after being in a situation that was really bad. Okay? So I don't have time or energy for that. I'm genuinely focusing on me. And there's a whole bunch of people who are fucking mad that I'm focusing on me. There's a whole bunch of people who are like, Dan cut me off. That was fucked up. Yeah, I cut you off because I didn't like the toxic energy in this situation. I said it 2, I said it 3, I said it 4 times. And instead of adjusting the fucking situation, you want to flip it on me, gaslight me. I don't have time for it. Gone. Bye. Next person. You know what I mean? And there's people who are mad. There's like, she cut me off. She ghosted me. Not ghosted me. She cut me off. She blocked me. She's not talking to me. She's not giving me her energy. Exactly. It wasn't serving me. The situation wasn't serving me, and I didn't want to go back and forth with you no more. I've been through too many toxic cycles. As soon as I see that shit coming, gone. Maybe you get 3 warnings. But there is no situation where I just abruptly cut you off and don't say nothing. You were told. 1 or 2 or 3 or 10 times. This ain't working. This isn't okay. And you didn't honor it. You didn't honor my feelings. You didn't honor my boundaries. It was all about you or whatever the deal is. Or you're in a situation where you couldn't honor it. Okay, bye. There's a lot of people pissed off because I cut them off. Trying to flip it and say that they cut me off. No, I told you, please go. I'm tired of you. I'm tired of your mouth. I'm tired of your bullshit. Bye-bye. Go, please. Had one person go, I'm about to block you. Oh my God, please do. Because I'm so tired, because you're contacting me and I'm tired of you. Please, by all means, please. That would be a blessing to me. Please do it. And they did it and I'm happy. You know what I mean? I'm happy. And they're mad that I'm happy. You know what I mean? That they blocked me. You know what I mean? You know? You know what I'm saying? Dan, you give me a hug makes me uncomfortable. Okay, I'll stop doing it. I'm sorry. So I stopped doing it. Now they're mad they don't get a hug. Well, make up your mind what the fuck you want. I'm honoring your wishes. I'm respecting your boundaries or what you're saying your boundaries are. You know what I'm trying to say? It's so weird. Ah, you know, it's so weird. But no, there's no work being done other than me genuinely trying to work on myself. If I make a promise, I try to keep it. If I say I'm gonna do something, I try to do it. If I need to do things here in my house regarding my family, I'm trying real hard to get it done. I have a lot on my plate. I'm not perfect. Um, there are snafus that come up. Things happen later than I would have liked them to. Things don't always go as planned, but I'm trying my very best. My focus is on what I need to do, and not in a selfish way because I'm still trying to help people. But how can I help other people if I'm all fucked up and not handling my business? You understand? So I'm doing me. That's all I'm doing. I'm doing me. I don't apologize for being a generous person or sometimes a playful person, or I don't apologize for having the energy I have. It's who I am. It's who I am. I don't apologize for thinking the way I do. I don't apologize for believing the way I do. Don't apologize for my voice sounding the way it does. I don't apologize. I don't apologize and I don't have to defend it. This is me. This is who I am. Just standing in my own power, being who I am. This is my energy. If it resonates, we're on the same, that's that level. It resonates and we're on the same level. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Not everybody's gonna like me, you know. Not everybody's gonna get me, and I'm okay with it. For the first time in my damn life, I'm okay with it. So no, I'm not running around like flipping out trying to make people feel a certain kind of way about me. I'm not. Genuinely, I'm not. I don't have time for it. You know? If we vibe and we click, awesome. Cool. We vibe and we click. Let's go do some cool shit, you know? Or not. Let's just sit there and feel that vibe and do absolutely nothing because it's a cool vibe. I don't care, you know? But no, I'm not pulling these weird spiritual strings. I'm just being me. This is who I am. I don't know how much I can say that over and over. But there's no ulterior motive. There is none. There's just Diane doing what she's got to do and what speaks to her soul, what makes her happy. And that's it. I spent a long time being unhappy and being afraid to be myself or speak my feelings or speak my truth, and I'm not gonna do it no more. So if it seems crazy or nutty or whatever it is, fine, judge it and do what you gotta do. But no, I'm not here to manipulate or impose or take from people. Every fucking thing I have, I've busted my ass and I've earned it. I've worked for it or I've gotten it because people genuinely wanted to help me. They saw me in a bind and wanted to help me in exactly the same way that I've helped many and continue to help many people. And I don't necessarily deserve a medal for that. I don't deserve special treatment for that. I don't deserve a badge for that. But that's how it is. I've helped people and they feel like they want to help me back. And folks don't owe me for being kind, but I also don't deserve being mistreated after being kind either. Okay? I don't. I don't deserve to be mistreated or disrespected after being kind either. Alright? I don't have to prove anything, or I don't need validation, I don't need approval, and I don't need permission just to be me. You know? And the reason I'm saying it is not to get people's approval, or but I'm hoping that this resonates with people. Maybe there's people who are being kind who are getting mistreated and are down and they need to hear me say, yeah, that happens to me too, and this is my feeling on it, and maybe it will help them, you know. Or maybe somebody, you know, caught a fucking STD from messing around behind his wife's back, and he's trying to tell her it's spell work because she's stupid enough to believe that, because she loves him so much that in her heart of hearts she don't want to believe that he's been sleeping all over the place behind her back, possibly with other people of the same sex on top of it, and then that's where he got the STD. Maybe it's easier for her to believe that there's some jealous, horrible woman named Diane Molina who put a spell on her husband, because the alternative to realize that A, he's been stepping out on her in the worst way, not using protection, and brought something back home, and B, he may not even be the sexual orientation he said he was, and that would just shatter her world. So it's easier to believe that than to believe what might be the truth. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that anyone I know is in that situation or that's going on with any. I'm just giving that as just an example off the top of my head about the things that go on. You know? Maybe, people had an image in their head of, you know, their ideal person, and the divine sends you who you're written to be with, and it's completely opposite from the image you had in your head, but you feel it, and it's not making sense to you, and you don't want to accept what was sent because it's not wrapped in the right package or whatever it is. So you got to make up this story that it's spell work, because it couldn't possibly be this person. That happens all the time. It happens all the time. Maybe, I don't know, you said something horrible about Dan that wasn't deserved, and as you were saying it, you tripped and busted your ass, and you think she put spell work on you. No, it was a crack, and you were so busy trashing somebody else who wouldn't watch where your ass was walking, and you fell on your ass. Dan didn't do a spell that said whenever you talk bad about me, you're gonna fall on your ass. That's what you get when you're distracted and focusing on petty shit instead of making sure when you cross the street, you don't trip on some shit. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. You know, maybe right after you had an argument with Dan, you lost your wallet. No, I didn't put spell work on you. You lost your wallet. It's not that complicated. I'm not that powerful. Get over yourselves. You're not that. Ruining your life or whatever is not the center of my existence. You're not that important that I go around doing crazy things like that. And I'm not that powerful. I'm really not. I'm flattered, but I'm not that powerful. And the man upstairs sees all things and is higher, and I gotta answer to him too. Anyway, it's been over an hour, and I gotta go do mom stuff, like cook dinner for my kids, finish doing laundry, clean my house a little bit, make my bed. The sheets are in the dryer. I gotta put the sheets back on and do my thing. Take a shower. This is the crazy, larger than life existence I have. This is the sinister shit that's going on. Regular, boring shit. you know? People can really, with their own imagination, work themselves into all kinds of crazy stuff. Yeah. And if you have that much magical thinking, that's a psychiatric term. You have that much magical thinking, maybe we need to worry about how you're doing, not how Dan is doing. All right, so everybody, please Respect people's free agency. Respect that what you put out comes back. Love yourself. And altruism exists. And I'm sorry that it's rare, or that people have been hurt so many times that they don't believe it and don't know how to accept it and don't know what to do with it. I'm sorry for that pain that caused you to have that. And I hope that one day it will be healed. But Diane isn't here to con you or harm you. Bless up, everybody. Bye.